supposed to be doing this political video on Live Saga TV, but because my minutes or my watch hours on edutainment for us are still low, I'll do it here. So bear with me if you don't like politics on this channel, but I'll be going to Live Saga TV tomorrow to compensate with 2 videos during the day, because after all, I don't have a lot of work. Currently, we're just doing our own personal work and all that, okay? Yeah, so before I go into it, remember there's a family of a Catholic nun which was killed in Meru, because we have disputes surrounding that. So let's start with that story before we come to any other. Welcome to this.
Try this 8-minute AI study habit after work. Get ahead of your colleagues and boss.
So, the family of Sister Ansilime Karimi, a senior nun at the Nkabune Children's Home, has spoken out for the first time, casting doubt on official claims that her death was accidental. The 65-year-old nun was found dead in the convent's dining hall on Sunday morning in what police are now treating as a suspicious death. According to her relatives, the sister had recently expressed fear for her safety, warning that her life was in danger. NTV's Ashley Atieno with that story.
All right, sometimes I just wonder, when somebody says their life is in danger, what then? You know, like yesterday we had 2 shootings that happened at State House on the army. Of course, I'll be getting to that story later. But then, what I wonder is, they always say that when you feel threatened, report. But I don't know, what is the normal procedure that should happen in Kenya? I thought when you report such a thing, DCI should be very quick to act and maybe establish who is actually tailing you or what circumstances surround your insecurity, then handle it. However, it happens to be that in Kenya, things move so slow. And possibly, in fact, I saw some people asking, I think it was on some reaction related to Nyabohanse, why the police in Kenya normally ask for money when they are going to do an investigation or follow up on a case. You know, there is a moment my sister was actually, scammed. Was it scamming or even just, I think this aspect whereby people steal from you when you're in a supermarket, and she went to report, then the phone was supposed to be tracked and even found. But the slow movement of the police in Kenya sometimes surprises us. Okay, we are not saying they are extraordinary, but they are human beings. At the same time, they have trained for their duty. So I do not understand when sometimes people report that their life is in danger, and you find that it is taking a lot of time, actually, extraordinary time, that by the time even investigations are done, they're already dead, you know. So the incident of the nun in Meru is actually a very funny situation, because she had reported to DCI that she feels threatened. And when she died later, it was indicated that it was possibly not a family, the dispute that was actually looming around, you know. Let's just listen to the story and check into it. Thank you so much for those who have contributed the likes. I really appreciate. Thank you. May Lord bless you. Thank you so much for your likes. All right.
Grief, shock, and unanswered questions. This is the pain that hangs heavy over the family home of Sister Ansilime Karimi, a woman who dedicated 4 decades of her life to serving as a Catholic nun. Now tragically gone under circumstances her family believes were anything but natural.
For 1 year, actually, she has been complaining, saying that she is not secure in that particular institution. Reason being why she has been transferred and has not been told where to go. And already the sister who is supposed to take a position is already in the institution.
The 65-year-old nun was found dead early Sunday morning inside the convent dining room, her body bearing bruises and bleeding from the nose, mouth, and ears. Initial investigation suggests she may have been struck with a blunt object. The scene raised more questions. Her house appeared to have been cleaned, possibly to destroy evidence, and her phone was switched off late at night on the day of the incident.
Na baadhi nilipata alikuwa amelala na mgongo, mkono mmoja ikiwa hapa. Nikauliza huyo Sister Caro, mbona hii mkono iko hivi? Akaniambia ni vile alikuwa anataka kujisikilia. Nilimuuliza ulikuwa hapo?
Sister Caroline.
My goodness, this is a very serious problem, you know. When now such fights or battles go to church, we just don't know where to run to. In normal circumstances, we find such challenges happening in maybe outside religious institutions. But when you find that someone can DIE in an institution which is a convent or something like that over conflicts or feuds, you just don't understand what the world is running into. All right? So how can somebody be uncomfortable with a place? I don't just understand sometimes institutional aspects, even in schools. When people ask for transfers, you find that the leaders are hesitating. You might be feeling threatened, insecure in a place, and that is why you are asking for a transfer. But you find that sometimes when you ask for it, you're not given. All right? And it just becomes a problem. My bundles are already over, you mean? I don't know. I'm just checking.
In Kanjiru, a fellow nun at the convent was arrested and detained for 14 days in connection with the suspected murder. She is alleged to have called for help upon discovering Sister Karimi, insisting she be rushed to hospital. Senior resident magistrate Evelyn Degwa emphasized the gravity of the case and the need to protect public safety, refusing to release the suspect on bail.
The owner, suspect, face hostile ground from the members of public who are baying for her blood at the time of arrest. If released at this stage, the life might be in danger, Your Honor.
Once the investigations are completed, two outcomes are expected. Either she will be charged with the offense or she will be exonerated and released from custody, by which time the society's anger will have been quelled. Meanwhile, government chief pathologist Dr. Johansen Odror has postponed the autopsy on Karimi's body until Thursday. Ashley Atieno, NTV.
Can you imagine? Imagining that we could have conflict that would lead to death of one of such members of the clergy, and in such an institution, really puts a lot of questions on churches. Remember the other day there was another incident whereby we saw a sister slapping another, and that was in Nyanza. Now it has come out that in Meru, we've had a sister who is suspected to have hit another with a blunt object. According to information from the brother, of course, this sister said that possibly she wanted to hold herself. That is why she was laying on her hand. And when they came to check on her body, there was blood that was oozing from the nose and all that. That is a clear indication that actually she was hit by a blunt object. Of course, autopsy will go on and all that, but you look at these incidences, they report negatively about the church. Anyway, let's get to the aspect of the GSU officer who also went through an incident yesterday. Let's just check on this.
The family of Kivuka Kimunyi Musimi, the man at the center of a chilling security breach that left a GSU officer dead outside State House, now says he had long battled mental health issues.
From their quiet homestead in Kalawa village, Makueni County, the family recounted spending the entire Sunday with him, unaware that just hours later he would travel to Nairobi or that his journey would end in tragedy and headlines.
As Winfrey Owino now reports, Akibera Court has granted DCI detectives 14 more days to hold the suspect as investigations into the shocking murder continue.
Approximately 60 kilometers.
All right, guys. So yesterday, I think you saw that story I did on Live Saga TV with a man that came out with a sack on the back and killed a GSU office. So this story comes out as a very shocking one because the army were so many in the place where they were conducting an event. And having the guts to do that actually just sounded very funny to me. We have Sonjon Lishas. Sonjon Lishas, welcome here. we have Agnes Adams. Agnes Adams, thank you. Welcome here. Today I've decided to do political analysis here because actually my watch hours are below expectation for today. So I must just push on with this to make sure that it reaches at least above the yesterdays. Then we have Jean Munganyende from Rwanda, I think. So welcome and thank you so much. Like the video. I have 2 likes so far, but we have more people watching. So please like the video, as that really enhances the algorithm. It is part of the journey of building somebody's YouTube. Thank you so much for those who are watching. Of course, as we proceed into our discussion, yeah, so for those of you who may not be getting English, of course, mnaelewa jana kulitokea mtu ambaye alikuja pale State House akampiga risasi ama akamuua mmoja wa wanajeshi. Kwa hivyo ikakuwa kwamba lazima iweze kuchunguzwa, na imesemekana kwamba familia ya mmoja huyu ambaye ametoka Machakos all the way akasafiri hadi Nairobi na kumuua GSU. Inasemekana kwamba alikuwa na shida ya akili, hakuwa na akili timamu. So hebu tutazame na tuweze kuona mengi kuhusiana na hili. Na ni ukweli kwamba watu wengi sahi wana shida ya mchanganyiko wa mawazo ama depression ama mambo yote yale yanaendana na mental health. Lakini watu wengi huwa wanakosa kushikilia maanani kwa sababu kwao ni mambo ya kawaida, ama kwao hawatarajii mtu kuwa na shida kama hiyo. Sawa? Kwa hivyo ni vyema kwamba watu waweze kuangalia, especially ukiangalia kwa mambo kama ya yule sister ambaye amesemekana kule Meru kuuawa na mwenzake. Kama mtu hana usalama mahali, kwa nini mshikilie kwamba endelee kukaa pale hadi apoteze uhai? It doesn't sound okay. It doesn't sound okay. You better save someone when they are still alive instead of waiting until they die. Okay? So Jane tells us siwezi lala kabla ya kuangalia. Good night. God bless you. Niko na kazi asubuhi mapema. Haya, asante sana Munganyende, nashukuru.
From Watertown, nestled in the rugged hills of Mboni East, Makueni County, lies the quiet village of Kalawa. Here, life moves slowly as goats bleat in the distance. But now, this sleepy village is at the center of national headlines. It is the birthplace of Kithuka Kimonye Mosimi, the man accused of executing one of the most bizarre and brazen attacks on a national security installation in recent memory, fatally shooting a GSU police officer guarding State House Nairobi with nothing more than a bow and arrow. According to his family, they spent Sunday afternoon with him. Nothing seemed unusual except for the weight of something unspoken.
Tulikuwa tunaishi naye vizuri, hakuwa na shida yoyote. Yeye kwenda State House mimi sikujua.
Then, without saying much, he left for Nairobi. They say he has long battled mental health issues, but no one could have imagined what would unfold the next morning. As a street dweller and approached Gate D of State House shortly after 8 a.m. on Monday. Hidden in a blue bag was his weapon, a bow and 2 arrows. Moments later, as a vehicle went through the routine security screening, Kimonyi crouched behind it and struck. The first arrow missed. However, the second pierced the chest of Constable Ramadan Mathika, an elite GSU officer who would later succumb to his injuries.
Okay. So you understand that Ramadan actually succumbed to the arrow and the spear, a common tool that we see the Kamba people using in hunting and so many activities, okay? So even though he was rushed to the emergency, it never worked. He already passed on, and the man, Kithuka Kimonye, is indicated to have had mental illness. Mental illness are very common. Actually, currently, a lot of people are suffering from that because of economic challenges, social problems, and so many other situations which we live in. Okay? So, away from that, let's come to the clash between Edwin Duale and the other politician. Let's talk about this. No. I think we should talk about something different before this. Of course, the fact that there is somebody who stole, can you imagine somebody stealing Dedan Kimathi's statue and planning to sell the head at 250 shillings under scraps? What has our country come to? Can you imagine? You know those statues, the material they use to make are very expensive. But somebody is able to steal that. I have acquired that story from David Wafula, one of the very resourceful people in the country, actually collecting news that people wouldn't know about. So this guy was actually found, and he was forced to say sorry to Kenyans. Let's see this. And of course, one of the suggestions is supposed to go through training of, this kind of work. And
na nimevunja Dedan Kimathi. Nilikuwa naenda kuipima Kenya. Naomba mnisamee. Wewe unaiba hapa mara ngapi? Nilikuwa na chemba, sijawahi iba tena kingine hapo. Hii kitu yote Dedan Kimathi. Unajua ni pesa ngapi Dedan Kimathi? Sijui. Unajua kutengeneza hii kitu ni pesa ngapi? Ulikuwa unaenda kupima pesa ngapi? Hata ingetoka pesa mingi mkubwa. Ingetoka pesa ngapi? Ingetoka kilo 5 ni pesa ngapi? Kilo 5 ni 250. Unajua bei ya hii kitu? Unajua kutengeneza hii kitu mzima ni pesa ngapi?
All right, imagine how funny our country is. Do you know a lot of things are being destroyed? When I look at the roads, have you ever seen, for example, the flyovers and bridges? We have people who go breaking the side of the bridges just because they want to go sell scraps. You can imagine spoiling a bridge, a whole bridge that serves people to fly over water bodies, destroying the roads which save people from accident, because most times when they create rails on roads, it is meant to offer a small, a softer, driving, so that in case cars can, instead of cars rolling over, they just hit and stop. However, a lot of Kenyans, Dude. Of course, in Kenya we have Kiswahili and English, but on this channel natumia Kiingereza sana kwa sababu a lot of audience are actually not familiar with Kiswahili, but I can speak in Kiswahili too. However, I consider speaking in English more because the audience here are more of English unless otherwise. The only person who was actually seeking Kiswahili was Jean Munganyende, and I think currently said they are going to rest. Okay, so hi Dude, hi Sojourn Malicious, welcome here, thank you so much and welcome to board. So today I've been unable to go to Life Saga TV and do a video because I saw the watch hours on this channel are still low, yet there is a target I have. I'm almost approaching the correct watch hours as compared to other channels. So I decided to sacrifice Life Saga TV for edutainment for us. Please forgive me if you are a fan of Life Saga TV. Anyway, so it's so foolish that most Kenyans will do anything to actually steal even statues, which whose material is very expensive, to just go and sell 250 shillings. They'll go destroy the rail. They'll go destroy the sides of the roads, which has saving people from accidents, and go sell the metal. I don't know. When will we enlighten ourselves about the safety and the importance of these things that are necessary in our country? I don't know. Because somebody very energetic, very young, cannot go and work and earn, because 250 shillings, if you go to, let's say, masonry work, you will earn more than that. Why would you go and spoil a statue that the whole country invested its tax in, just because you want to go and sell somewhere? And I also feel like they should go check on those who are buying this stuff, because it means they just buy anything. If they were isolating what to buy, then somebody would not go stealing anything just because they are going to weigh some kilograms. But it's so unfortunate when you walk around Nairobi, you get to a place whereby you find some ditches, you find some holes, and when you check around, there was a metal right there fixed for a purpose. However, people came and just removed it to go sell scraps. Okay? I don't know how they'll deal with this industry, but it's one of the frustrating industries in this country because of the impact it has. Okay? Yeah, so John Lishas, welcome. J Dude, welcome. All right. So the other aspect, of course, you remember the MP. There was an MP recently who called Larry Madoa Takataka. He told him that anarekodi nini, yeye ni takataka apeleke kwa Ruto. All right. Now even currently people are doing challenges. They are saying, okay, unatupiga picha, endelea kupiga takataka, wewe utapeleka wapi? So there is such a continuous discussion that is happening in the country, sounding very funny. But in reality, this was an MP of Kibera, right? Now, the story, of course, trended and he had to be arrested. And he was pleading in court today. So let's just check on that video. Let's just check on that video. But how do you think they should punish this guy who just struck Dedan Kimathi statue to go and sell at 250? What they should do? What should they do to him? Because according to David Wafula, they should actually force this guy to learn ceramics. And by the time he comes out of jail, he should be able to make the same statue. If he can't make it, then he should remain in until the day he will learn how to do it. I think that's a good punishment. But at the same time, I really believe that this industry of scraps should actually be strictly monitored. I don't know. It must be making a lot of money for people, but at the same time, it destroys the world because people do a lot of stuff currently. People steal anything, including things that are very fresh. They don't only target the old. All right, so let's get to this MP, Kibera MP, because he was presented in court, of course, for his heinous act. Really? You look like you've never. You are not just arrested.
And since then...
So they never forgave him. They told him that there was no remorse and he seemed to have intention to drive on the wrong side. You know, it is very wrong to drive on the wrong side of the road. If you've ever read Fathers of Nation, there was a very serious accident which Chamaka Chineke was involved in as a result of driving on the wrong side. You know, if you drive on the wrong side and somebody else is coming, you will easily have a head-on collision because that is not your right hand. So, and he sees a news anchor who is mentioning he should have been sorry. Instead of that, he called him takataka apeleke kwa Ruto. You can imagine mentioning a whole president. It's like a student whom you want to punish na anakuambia mimi usinipunish nipeleke kwa principal. You see, that one will be spelling a very wrong thing for a school. It will be defining the fallen aspect of, power and authority, okay? Anyway, we can proceed to a different story. And into the new story, I think we are pulling out on Susan Kihika. Susan Kihika, I don't know what she's qualified for. Is she really worth being a governor or is she worth being a comedian? Because if you watched my other reaction I did in, I think it was in June, around there, on Life Saga TV, I did show how Susan Kihika had not served the people of Nakuru. And at the end of it, when they are asking her, especially after coming back with the twins, she was trying to actually defend herself. And all she said was humorous. There is another time she was also defending the husband, saying Gachagua is attacking him for no reason. And she was so humorous. When she was asked questions surrounding things around Nakuru, she actually had lame excuses but funny ones. Now, I want you to look at this one. And in fact, she said she wouldn't have delivered in Kenya because she wouldn't expect the Kenyan doctors to look at her face the same after looking at her in her most vulnerable stage. And I was like, so the rest of us, when we do it from Kenya, because we don't have money to travel to America or China or elsewhere, do we really look different in the eyes? In fact, we don't even remember the doctors who dealt with us. I don't think I can remember even a doctor who dealt with me, whether the firstborn or secondborn. So how dare Susan think that she will have this doctor looking at her differently? These are professionals, and that is the work they are meant for. So anyway, let's listen to the latest shenanigan from her.
Miaka miwili ya kwanza, actually 3. Hata sijawahi fanya yangu kwa nimeishi kumaliza zenye ziliwachwa. Na zilikuwa mingi. Kutoka wakati wa Kennethia kuna zingine ziliachwa hazikufanyiwa na mwenye aliingia. Huyo mwenye aliingia pia niko na zake. Sasa nimefanya za Kennethia zenye ziliachwa. Za Lee zenye ziliachwa. Sasa ndio naanza zangu. Sikunipea time nyingine niweze kufanya kabisa.
Hey. So is this a way to ask for votes from citizens, telling them that the first 3 years you are just working on projects that the other person left, and now you need more time for you to now work on your project? So which means these 5 years you will be working on your projects of the other year. Really? I don't think Susan Kihika really deserves to be maintained as the governor here, because she is taking comedy to stage when this is a serious kind of work that is supposed to be serving citizens. So I don't think that she really qualifies to be maintained here. Anyway, Edwin Duale had a tough time in Parliament. Is it Parliament really? No. A very tough time when people tried to remind him that he should just resign, because what he's doing is injustice, especially when it comes to SHA. We have a lot of scandals surrounding SHA, but when Edwin Duale speaks, he speaks like there is no problem at all. So let's just check on something here. The humiliation actually was too much.
This is nonsense. We cannot allow some hostile. The house was silent, then chaos. Health Cabinet Secretary Aden Duale, eyes blazing, pointed across the committee table and shouted, "I have closed your hospitals." Kitutu Church's South MP Anthony Kibagendi shot back, "Who are you, Duale? Who is Nitisha? We are not your children." Who are you? You think you can be chairman? We will not respect you. It wasn't just a shouting match. It was a moment that stripped Kenya's political hypocrisy bare.
I'm Professor David Costa, the Dean here at Robert Kennedy College in Switzerland, and I'm here today to introduce...
"Your hospitals," he shouted, which he claims were caught in corruption. We will not allow you. Because you are the president. We will not allow you. Are now extraordinary. Kibagendi, you are out of order. I'm not a You and your friends are out of order. We have closed your office where I don't own a hospital. And if possible, we will charge you in a court. You can charge me. You can charge. I don't own a hospital. You are the people from here. You and your friends. Bring your just because we're asking you questions. We'll ask all the Kibagendi to actually stop. We will not allow you to listen. We are close to your hospitals. And we'll close. Chair the committee, Kibagendi shouted, "We cannot allow Duale to run the show." This has been among the loudest critics. It deeper than it sounded, because it framed Duale not just as a from the Social Health Authority was launched in 2024 with a bold promise. Affordable funds meant for insurance are stuck in bureaucratic webs, and suppliers connected to politicians, RUTO's most disciplined ally, has faced growing calls to resign, but he has fought back hard. On social media, he has shared cryptic posts about cleaning the road and standing firm. In Parliament, he has doubled down, insisting SHA is the only path to a corruption-free health sector. Yet, insiders claim Duale's battles are To continue. I have no hospital. I've never owned even a dispensary. I've never owned even a hospital. You are not living by your mind. You are living by borrowing. Not use the floor. I have no and we will not allow you. You have a conflict of it. You have crossed your border. We will not allow you. I have no hospital. We have anywhere. That is the strategy you use to try and hide. You need to answer a question. Charge me. Charge me. You cannot be intimidating members. We are not your children. No, we will not allow you. Just because you are the president, we will not allow you. You are the leadership. You are the police. You are stealing from chair. I'm not a You and your friends are stealing from chair. We have closed your office. Where I don't own a hospital. And impossible, we will charge you in a court. You can charge me. You can charge. I don't own a hospital. You are the people stealing from Shah. You and your friends. Bring your you are getting the expensive 12 for the company you are using to steal from Shah. We are going to this. He's the one who should behave himself. He's the one who should behave himself.
We'll ask you, you made your point. Leave it there, let the chairman proceed.
You proceed. Don't allow him to chair this meeting.
I am chairing this meeting.
You are intimidated by this man.
Intimidated. So let this exchange not between me and you. We can actually ask you to leave.
I can actually leave.
It's okay.
I can actually leave.
It's okay.
You can't live by borrowed values of the political.
You should not be this conflict of interest. You should not be this.
I will write to the speaker. You write to the. We will write to the speaker. Produce evidence that I own our proceedings. You are the one who should not be in this ministry. Your company is stealing from Shah. You are. We will write to the speaker. You should not be in the meeting because of conflict of interest.
You
cannot be in this committee.
Escort the honorable Kibagendi out.
Yes. And you are living the borrowed values. Order, Chair.
Today we're here with Carla Norris. She is a financial planner, work with
Hot
personally on my
seat.
team, and she works for National Bank Financial.
Now,
in the year 2024 and again in May of 2023 late in Dubai and quickly in 2024 in Kenya, for them to be able to be ready for the implementation that was starting in the month of October of 2024.
Yep.
And this appeal is again associated with an advisor of the president in State House. You see, that is a conflict of interest. That is one. Number two, universal healthcare coverage has 3 dimensions.
Yeah.
One is on financial risk protection. You realize today the out-of-pocket expenditure by the users is higher than it was during NHIF.
Correct.
All right. Kibagendi made a point that was very clear. However, I don't know why they charged him and had to pull him out of that platform, leaving Duale, who was also, chaotic. But it is the law of the weak and the strong. So, of course, let us wait and watch Kibagendi, but we don't know what might turn up. All right? Of course. So, that's for today. We will not take a lot of time on this, unless I now go back to Live Saga and do something little.